Hi, it's Dr. Noble here, and welcome to Module 3. During this module, we will cover two new topics critical for the medical laboratory quality manager. On the surface, they might be thought of as separate and distinct, but they are very much linked. Today I want to talk to you about one of them, the topic for Week 1, the costs of quality and the costs of poor quality. As you work through the book by Douglas Wood, you'll read about the classic model of quality costs first established by Joseph Jurin. And this model includes two input categories, prevention costs and appraisal costs, and two output categories, internal failure and external failure. Now, when Jurin was developing this model, he was not thinking about medical laboratories. But in fact, it works extremely well in our industry. Douglas Wood's book gives a very good presentation on the subject. It's short and is easy to read. I don't need you to read the whole book right now, unless you want to, of course. But I do need you to focus on chapters 1 and 3 and 5 and 6. And here are a few things to keep in mind about cost of quality issues relevant to our laboratories. Many institutional budgets have line items for prevention and appraisal costs, but they don't look at failure costs other than as estimates based on last year's experience. And this leads to a cost awareness to the dollar for purchasing proficiency testing or accreditation or performing audits or buying software. But this is not matched in any way of capturing the costs associated with proficiency or quality failure. The consequence of that is that many laboratories can track their year-over-year costs for prevention and appraisal, but can't and don't track their year-over-year reparative costs for quality failure. And that means that they can see the dollars they save when they reduce their input costs, but they don't see the associated failure consequences. Quality managers who develop a monitoring process for both quality and poor quality costs can positively impact that imbalance and promote and support the advantages of reasonable spending to improve laboratory quality. Now, Jurin pointed out that small increases in input costs, either in the form of prevention or appraisal, can lead to big decreases in failure costs. Sometimes this is called Jurin's 80-20 rule. Sometimes spending a little bit more can be dollars very well spent if they're associated with increased improvement and reduced error. And the other thing is that if you spend a lot, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a whole lot back in return. Sometimes small, judicious spending is the best way to go. Now, calculating costs only in dollar terms can be misleading. All our laboratories have salary scales, and some people are paid more than others. And while some people's time may cost more, it doesn't necessarily mean, in a quality perspective, that it's worth more. If a person is spending hours correcting errors, they are not available for doing go-forward new work, irrespective of their salary. Lost hours of work are lost hours of work. So tracking them as lost hours of go-forward labor as opposed to lost dollars can be a very useful expression of failure costs. So as this week progresses, these topics will come up again and again, and I look forward to your thoughts and input. So with that, see you online soon. Thanks, and goodbye for now.